Hi everybody, welcome to Shell Lectures. So today we will be dealing with an NCERT class 12 physics topic, and it is units and measurements, and today we will be dealing with a small topic, that is significant figures. Significant figures is the topic which we are going to learn about today. Okay, so significant figures, what is the use and where do we use these significant figures? Actually, when you are doing an experiment, okay, you will be noting down a lot of measurements, am I right? So, the very important thing in noting the measurements is that how precisely you are noting down the measurements. For example, if you are writing it as 3, it's not going to be more precise, or it's not going to be more accurate. So if you make it as 3.25, this will give you good results at last, rather than writing only 3. Am I right? It may give you wrong results, it may mislead you. Am I right? So we'll always be writing things with strong precision. Even individual measurements will be written with a very strong precision, and that's what the total number of digits which we write is known as significant figures. Okay, so the total number of digits in precise measurement is known as significant figures. Okay, so significant figures are nothing but the digits which are written in the most precise measurement. So significant figures, what is the use of significant figures? The main use is that it's used to indicate the precision of a measurement. Okay, so for example, if I take 1.62, okay, let me consider a simple pendulum which takes, for one oscillation it takes 1.62 seconds. Okay, so for 1, 2 and fro motion, for one oscillation it takes 1.62 seconds. So here there are 3 significant figures we can say. Actually, what is significant figure? It's nothing but the number of uncertain digits plus the number of certain digits. So in this value 1.62, you can very well say that these two values are very certain, that is, they won't change at all. Okay, they are very certain, they are values which can be relied upon, they are reliable and they are very certain, they are very sure. Whereas this one may change into 3 or 4 or 1 or 5 when you do the experiment again and again. Am I right? So this digit is known as an uncertain digit. It's an uncertain digit, whereas the other two digits are known as certain digits. So the total number of certain and uncertain digits in a particular measurement or a particular value is known as significant figures. Okay, so this is the thing. The total number of certain and uncertain digits in a given measurement is known as significant figures. So we have seen an example. So the first thing which we have to learn about significant figures is that the units. For example, let me take 1.52 meter. Okay, so what is the unit which I have written here? Meter. 1.52 meter is what I have written at first. So when you change this into centimeter, what happens? You have to multiply it by multiply it by 100. So it becomes 152 centimeter. Am I right? Then when you multiply it by 1000, you will be getting kilometers. So 1520 kilometers. Am I right? So this kind of, not 1520 kilometers, that is, we can write it as, 0. Okay, we can put it like this, 1520 millimeters. Am I right? So 1.52 millimeter can be written in these 3 ways and many more ways also. So here if you see, there are totally 3 significant figures. Here also there are 3, but here there are 4 significant figures. So what does this mean? Okay, so does this mean that when we are writing a measurement in different units, it yields different significant figures? Never. You need not worry about the units at all. You must always take the standard unit, and what number of significant figures does it possess with the standard unit, that is taken to be the number of significant figures forever. So the units do not measure the number of significant figures. Okay, that's what I am trying to say. The units do not determine or do not measure how many significant figures are there in a particular measurement, because you may represent it by a various number of units, but every unit does not take into account. Only the SI units, significant figures will be taken into account, because that is the basis from where you are converting things to the other units. Okay, so this is one thing which we have to know. And then the second thing which we have to know is about trailing zeros. Trailing zeros are nothing but 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. If it goes on like this, then that is trailing zero. Okay, so trailing zeros. So here there are two categories. For example, if I take a number like 1, 2, 3, 5, 0, 0, 0, and if I take a number like 1, 2, 3, 5 dot 0, 0, 0. So here there is no decimal point at all. Can you find any decimal point here? Can you find any decimal point here, like a point or something? Nothing. Am I right? So there is no decimal point here. So the trailing zeros, that is the zeros which are going on continuing, okay, they are not taken into account when you are calculating the number of significant figures. So the number of significant figures are only 4 only because the decimal point is absent. So if there are no decimal points, trailing zeros are insignificant, or we can say they are not significant, they are not taken into account. Okay, we can say it like that. So trailing zeros when there is no decimal point are insignificant. Come on here. So we have a decimal point here. So we have to count all the things. So there are 7 significant figures because of the presence of decimal. As there is a decimal point here, the zeros after that is the trailing zeros, even after the decimal point are taken into account only because there is a decimal point here. Okay, so this is what is the concept about trailing zeros. Now the third thing which we have to know is about the general rules, and this is the very important thing about significant figures, the general rules. The first rule is that all non-zero digits are significant. All non-zero digits are significant. So the problem only occurs with 0, whether it comes before the decimal point or after the decimal point or trailing zeros or all that, the problem only comes with 0. All the digits which are other than 0 like 1, 2, 3, 4 and all the natural numbers are significant. Okay, so 1 to 9 the numbers are significant, whereas 0 it's like it is very ambiguous. Okay, it plays a different role in where according to the place where it's being placed. Okay, so but all the non-zero digits are significant. That is the first point. Now come on to the next. If a number which is less than 1, can you name one number which is less than 1? 0.002 is less than 1. Am I right? So if a number is less than 1, then the zeros which are right to the decimal point but left to the first non-zero digit are insignificant. So here what I have given, it's very important, listen to it carefully. So this is less than 1, so this number is obviously less than 1. The zeros which are present right to the decimal, so this is the decimal point, so they are talking about these two zeros. Am I right? So the zeros which are right to the decimal but left to the first non-zero decimal, which is the non-zero decimal, non-zero number. So which is the non-zero number here? 2. Am I right? So which is just before the non-zero number but after the decimal points are insignificant. So how many significant figures are here? Just 1. Only one significant figure is here because after the decimal point, before the non-zero digit, how many zeros are there? They have not taken into consideration. So there is only one significant figure is there here. So that is 2. Now, for numbers which are greater than 1, the zeros which are even present at the last are significant. All the zeros are significant for numbers which are present greater than 1. So let me take a number like 1.350. So the 0 is here. So it doesn't mean that 0 must not be considered. I told you that for greater than 1, all the zeros are significant. So here there are totally 1, 2, 3, 4 significant figures. Okay, so here there are totally 4 significant figures. Okay, so can you tell me which is the uncertain digit here? 0 is the uncertain digit and all the other 3 are certain digits, because this may change measurement after measurement, but these 3 are hopefully they don't change. Okay, but this will change for sure. So this is the uncertain and these are the certain digits. So non-zero digits, then less than 1, then greater than 1, and then The basic rule which we can cover out of everything is that if a number like this is present, you don't consider the zeros. Just start with the number. If a number like this is given, you just start with the number and count it. Okay. So zeros which are left to a number are insignificant. Okay. Zeros which are left to a number are insignificant. We can put these two in a simple word. That is, zeros which are left to a non-zero digit are insignificant. Okay, but the last thing is, for example, you are having a number like, you may get a doubt like 1.305. So is the 0 which is here significant or insignificant? Yes, of course, because it's only present in between two non-zero digits. It's not just after the decimal. Okay, but also there is one more thing. So this you have understood, I guess. If there is a 0 between two non-zero digits, that must be taken into consideration, and that is also one significant figure. And if it is like this, 1.035. So as only I told you, because the zeros rise to the decimal and left to the non-zero digit, but this is not a number which is less than 1. So the first condition is itself dissatisfied. So you should not go with this rule. Okay, if by forgetting this, you should not go for this number with this rule. Okay, so the number should definitely be less than 1. Then the zeros which are right to the decimal but left to the first non-zero digit are insignificant. But here it's not like that. It's greater than 1. So all the 4 must be considered. So 4 significant figures are here. At the same time, if it's 1.305, as the 0 is only present between the two non-zero digits, all the 4 must be considered here also. So there are 4 significant figures in this number also. So these are the basic rules. Once again we'll revise. The non-zero, all the non-zero digits wherever they are present are significant. Okay, so the problem comes with only 0. Now the next thing, for the numbers which are less than 1, the zeros which are present right to the decimal but before the first non-zero digit are insignificant. So here you have a very good example, right to the decimal but before the first non-zero digit are, these two zeros are insignificant. So we count only this number to be the significant figure. Third one, if the number is greater than 1, then the zeros, all the zeros are insignificant wherever they are present. Okay, in between or after the decimal or at the end of the decimal. Okay, so wherever they are present, that's taken into account. But one thing which you must remember is, I told you that if there is a number like 0.00a, then the number of significant figures is only a here. Okay, 2. Then number 2 is the only significant figure here. And also 0.00003. Here only 3 is a significant figure because all the zeros are lying to the left of the number. But whereas if it is 3.0000, then you have to count everything. 5, because it starts with a number. Okay, if it starts with 0, then you should not take all the zeros into account and you should start only with the first non-zero digit. But here the number itself begins with a non-zero digit, so you must count every single number as a significant figure. Okay, so these are the rules, basic rules which we must remember. Don't forget about trailing zeros. I have not written about it here, but trailing zeros are also one among the very important rules of significant figures. So when you do all these things, you must not forget trailing zeros. And then, how can we avoid these kind of confusions? Like I told you that if it comes to 4,500 meter, and if I change it into centimeter, I make it as 4,50,000 centimeters. So there is a confusion, though we say that units don't determine. We can put it in a very easy thing, like we can make it into a scientific notation to avoid the ambiguity which is occurring in the calculation of significant figures. Scientific notation is nothing but a into 10 power b. This is the basic structure of a scientific notation. A is any number between 1 and 10. It's any number between 1 to 10. And 10 is a constant, and then b is called the order of magnitude. B is called the order of magnitude. That is nothing but B is the term to which the 10 is raised. Okay, if it's 2, then the order of magnitude of the whole thing is 2. If it's 7, then the order of magnitude of the whole thing is 7. So order of magnitude is nothing but the power to which the B term is raised, the power to which the 10 is raised in a scientific notation. So A will always be a number from 1 to 10. For example, if you take the diameter of Earth, there is 1.28 into 10 to the power 7 meter. And if you take the diameter of hydrogen atom, it is 1.6 into 10 power minus 10 meter. So what's the order of magnitude for this? 7. And what's the order of magnitude for this? Minus 10. So So it's not always necessary that B should be positive, it can either be positive or negative. So here in these two things you can very well predict that the diameter of earth and the diameter of hydrogen atom. So we can see how much is the diameter of earth than the diameter of hydrogen atom. It's 10 power 7 and it's 10 power minus 10. So if we add them together, 10 power 7 minus, or if we subtract them, 10 power 7 minus of minus 10. I'm right, because I want to find how much diameter of earth is greater than the diameter of hydrogen atom. So you will be getting 10 power 17. So the diameter of earth is 10 power 17 times the diameter of hydrogen atom. This is how we predict. So this was possible only because of order of magnitude. So order of magnitude is very significant and very important. So this is how you represent a scientific notation, and how does this help us in solving the ambiguity in measuring significant figures. So if you are making it like 4500 meter, instead of writing it 4,50,000 centimeter, I can put it as 4500 as A into 10 power 2, because I had 100 here. I had 2 zeros here. 10 square is 100. So instead of 100, I can put it like this and I can write it as centimeter. So now, but one more thing which you must consider is, if you are writing in this manner, you should never think about this part when you are calculating significant figures. If you are going to calculate significant figures and if you find a number with some kind of a power or something, you just can leave that term and find only that number. That's very easy. That's an easy job. We often do that. We often feel happy to do an easy job. So here I am telling you something, that is, you can leave this term completely because it's an exponential term and you can do only with this. So in both of these terms there is only 4. Whereas if you do it with normal 4500 meter, then for 4,50,000 centimeters, and all these confusion comes. Okay, so this is why we write numbers. We must write numbers in scientific notation so as to avoid confusion in measuring the number of significant figures. And then S is equal to 2 pi r. So what's this formula? 2 pi r, that is circumference of a circle. So I have just written this formula to make you understand how many significant figures that a rough number can have. So here the number 2 is known as an exact number. Does it have any decimal or something? Have they specified anything? No. Am I right? So it's just a number. It's just a rough number. So we can write 2 as 2.0, 2.00, 2.000, then 2.0000, etc. So you can write a single number in all these kind of numbers. And can you tell me how many significant figures are there in each of these? Here there is 2, because we have to count the zeros after the non-zero digit. Only if the 0 comes at the first, we should not. Here it's 3, here it's 4. So a number like this, an exact number like this, which is not given with any other information, can have infinite number of significant figures if written in different kind of forms. Okay, so that's what I wrote this. And now, this is a very important thing. When you are adding or subtracting two numbers, what must you keep in mind? And when you are multiplying and dividing two numbers, what must you keep in mind? So if I take two numbers, like I am taking it as 2.036 and 7.01. Okay, so I am having two numbers. How can I add them? 640.9, 9.046 is the addition of these two numbers. This is the number which we usually get. But there is a rule and there is a method by which we should write the final answer. The format of the final answer must be very perfect, and that's what we are going to learn here. So when you are writing an answer like this for addition of two numbers, you must be careful about the decimal places. And here you must be careful about the significant figures. So for addition and subtraction, you must be careful about the decimal places, and for multiplication and division, you must be careful about the significant figures. So here in addition and subtraction, I told you that you must be careful about the decimal places. What is that you have to be careful about? Listen here. So if you are taking two numbers like this and it comes out to be 9.046, you must check the number which had the least number of decimal places. Which number has the least number of decimal places? Here it's 3 and here it's 2. So this number has the least number of decimal places, and your final answer must have the same number of decimal places as the least as the one which has the least decimal places among the two given values. So here this is having the least number of decimal places, so I have to change my answer into 9.04. Okay, only because you have to, for addition and subtraction, the final answer must contain the least number of decimal places. The least number of decimal places. And if I give you one more example for this, 7.0916 and 5.2, etc. When you add this, it becomes 12, sorry, we will subtract this. Okay, so then it becomes 916 and then this becomes 8 and this becomes 1. So 1.8916 is the answer. I have subtracted these two. So subtraction also the same rule applies. You have to think about the decimal. Okay, so the least decimal must be taken into account. Here there are 4 decimal places and here there is only 1. So my answer should be 1.8. Okay, I should round off my answer, or I should bring my answer. No, round off is not the right word. I should bring my answer to 1 decimal place. I should bring my answer to the least decimal place of the given values. Now moving on to multiplying and dividing. Let me do it with the same number, but that's tough to multiply. Let me do it with 7.21 and 3.1. Okay. So how do we do this? So first of all, basically we remove the decimal points and we can do that. 1, 5, 13, 2, 2, 2, 3, 5, 1. Right? Yeah, 2, 2, 3, 5, 1. So here 3 decimal places are there, so I have to place it here, 22.351. Actually what I am doing now is mathematics, basic mathematics, okay? I am not teaching something new. 22.351 is the answer which I get. But the thing is, when you are multiplying or dividing, you must be careful about the significant figures as I told you earlier. So you must see that the answer which you write must contain the least number of significant figures of the 2 given values. It must contain the least number of significant figures of the 2 given values. Now this is the first value and this is the second value. So here how many significant figures are there? 3. And here how many significant figures are there? 2. So you must round off your answer to 2 significant figures. So how can I do that? I have to make it like 22. That's it. Okay, if you write 0.0, I would like to write it as 0.0 because it's so rough. It doesn't have anything. It seems to be so dumb. But then it becomes 3 significant figures and your answer goes wrong. Okay, so you must be very careful that you write to the least number of significant figures. So here there is 2, so you have to round off your answer to 22. That's all. Don't think of 22.0. Then it becomes 3 significant figures. Okay, so the same thing applies for division also. For division of 2 numbers also the same thing happens. In the final answer you must reduce the answer to the least number of significant figures of the given numbers. Okay, so that's it for today. In the next video I will be meeting you with new topics. So subscribe to my channel if you have not done so far. Like and share this video to your dear ones. Thank you.